Hi Besties, welcome back to the channel. This is So with Somi. On today's tutorial, I'll be putting you through how I made this stylish Queen Anne neckline top with an asymmetric hem, and the sleeves equally has like a puffy sleeve at the hem of the sleeve. So for this tutorial, we're just doing the pattern drafting. In the next tutorial, I'll be putting you guys through on how to sew it up. So if you want to know how I achieved this, do not skip any part of this video, and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel and on your post notification button so you'll be notified every single time I post a new video. So if you're a returning subscriber, thank you guys so much. I do not take your love for granted. So for this tutorial, I my pattern paper is on fold and I've marked my starting line. Now from the starting line, I'll be taking my body measurements. So now I'll come down 9 inches for my chest line, 16 inches for my waist, and for the full length of the top is 22 inches. So that is all I have here. I'll mark it on this other side so that we can roll it into a straight line. Now this is what I have. So I'll label this is my chest line, my waistline, and the full length of my top, which is 22 inches. Now after the full length, I'm going to add extra 4 inches to that because of the asymmetric waistline, like the asymmetric hemline. So add extra inches to that. So I used 4 inches. Now this is what I have. So the next thing we're going to do now is I'll be taking my shoulder measurements, which is 7.5. That's my shoulder divided by 2 gives 7.5. I mark that on the chest line and I'll roll that into a straight line. Now I'll be taking the neck width of 3 inches and the depth, I'll come down 1 inch for my shoulder slope and I'll connect them together. So we're just drafting out a basic bodice. On the armhole side, I'll measure what I have on the armhole. I have 8 inches, half of that is 4 inches. And on that 4 inches point, I'll go to the chest line, divide my round bust by 4, I'll mark. Now on that 4 inches point, I'll come in by half an inch. Now I'll connect the 3 points together, watch my hand to cover my armhole. So if you have a cover like and decide to use it here. So now we're done. The next thing now is I'll be adding 1.5 inches stitching allowance to the side of my chest line. Now I'll come to the waistline, I'll divide my round waist by 4. I'll mark that, then I'll add my stitching allowance of 1.5 inches. I'll equally do the same thing on the hemline, but before that I'll connect from the chest line to the waistline this way. Now on the full length, I'll be dividing my round hip by 4, which is 40 divided by 4 will give you 10. Then I'll add my stitching allowance of 1.5 inches. I will extend that line to the full length of the top this way. And I'll connect from the waistline to the hip line. So if you have a curved ruler, you can decide to use it at this point. Now this is what I have. So I'll just adjust any place that needs adjustment. And we're done drafting out our bodies. Next thing is to get our Queen Anne neckline. So for this, you can decide to maintain the 3 inches or make it 4 inches, but I don't want mine to be too wide. So for the depth of the front opening, I use 6 inches. So for the depth, I came down from the shoulder slope by 6 inches, roll it into a straight line. On that 6 inches point, I'll go in by 4 inches. That is how wide I want my chest line to be open. So if you want it more open, you can use 4.5 or 5 inches. So I'll connect from the neck width to meet the 4 inches we marked in. Now if you watch what we are trying to do, it has like a sweetheart neckline. So below my chest line, I'll come down 1.5 inches and I'll connect from that point to meet the 4 inches points we marked on the new neckline. So just watch what I'm doing. So this is for our sweetheart neckline, and that is all. So I'll explain again. So from the shoulder slope, I came down 6 inches for the depth of my neckline. So after marking the 6 inches, I rolled it into a straight line. Now on that 6 inches point, I went in by 4 inches, which is this point. Now I connected from the neck width to meet that 4 inches point. Now on my chest line, I came down 1.5 inches below the chest line. This is for my sweetheart neckline. Then I connected it to meet the 4 inches on the chest line. So I hope you guys understand. So that is all we're just going to cut out. So guys, please like my videos. I am pleading with you guys. You guys are not helping me lately. It's not nice. Please, if you see my videos, like them, share to your friends, recommend my channels to your friend. It helps the algorithm to help me. Please, I am begging you guys. Thank you guys so much. So after cutting it out, if I open it up, now do you see what we have? This is what it is looking like. Now I'm going to extend these lines. So if you watch closely, the one we're trying to recreate, it does not have a dart, and it's not like a bustier. It doesn't have a dart and it doesn't have a bustier. So if it did, I would have added a dart. Now I'll fold it into two this way. The next thing I'll do is from the full length of the top, so just arrange your patterns, make sure that everything are matching. So from the full length of the top, I'll connect it to the extra 4 inches we added to the hem. So watch where I'm connecting. So use a curve ruler to do this part because it's not straight, like it's not sharp, so it's curvy. So I'll connect from the full length of the top to meet the extra 4 inches we added. Now I am done. The next thing I'll do is just to trim off. So from the full length I connected. So watch the places I am connecting. If you have any questions, ask me your question on the comment section. So after making sure that all of them are matching, then I'm going to trim off the little excess I have there. Now I'm going to open it up. So I'll turn it to the right side. So now we'll be labeling. That opening is on the left side for people who don't know. So this is my right side, and this other side is my left side. See, so now to get the opening on the side, from the center line I'll go out by 2 inches. Now from the center line, now for how wide I want it to be, I'll be using 7.5 inches. I'll mark that. So from the hem I went up by 7.5 inches. That is how wide I want the opening to be. Now on that point, 7 inches, 7.5 inches point, I'll go out by 2 inches too. Then I will roll it into a straight line. Now, so on the left side now, I'll be coming in by 4 inches. So initially I marked the 4 inches first. So I marked 4 inches. Then it was as if it's looking small. Then before connecting, I decided to extend it to 5 inches. So before connecting, I decided to extend it to 5 inches because I felt like it was small, but I still maintained the 4 inches. So after marking that 5 inches, I decided to connect it to the 4 inches points we marked initially first. So I liked the opening it gave me, so I didn't use the 5 inches again. So that is it. Like I said, from the center line I went up by 7.5 inches. That is how wide I want the opening to be. So I went up by 7.5 inches, and on the center line I went in by 2 inches on the left side. I did the same thing on that point, 2 inches. Now I rolled it into a straight line. From the left side I marked in 4 inches. Then I connected the two lines together, and that is it. So this is how easy it is to draft your own. So the next thing is just to cut this part open. And yes, guys, this is what we have. This is what it looks like. So I'm going to keep this aside. Let's draft out the back piece. Now for the back piece, I've marked out my starting line just like we did for the front. I'll be marking 9 inches for the chest line, 16 inches for the waist, and the full length of the top will be 22 inches. So I'll mark it this way again so that we can have a straight line to work with. Now I'm going to roll them into a straight line. So this is the waistline, chest line, and the full length of the top. Now on the starting line, I'm going to divide my round shoulder by 2, which is 15 divided by 2 will give you 7.5. I'll mark that on the shoulder line. I'll do the same on the chest line, and I'll connect them into a straight line. Now for the neck width, I'm using a neck width of 3 inches, and the depth will be 1 inch for the back. Like I said, if you want it to be as wide as the one we're trying to recreate, you can make it 4 inches, 4.5, but I didn't want mine looking that wide. That's why I still maintain the 3 inches neckline. Now on the armhole side, I'll come down 1 inch for the shoulder slope, and I'll connect it to the neck width this way. To the chest line, I'll divide my round bust by 4, which is 36 divided by 4 give you 9. I'll curve out my armhole this way. Then I'll add my stitching allowance of 1.5 inches. On the waistline, I'll divide my round waist by 4. I'll add my stitching allowance of 1.5 inches. I'll come to the hip line. I'll divide my round hip by 4. I'll mark that, add my stitching allowance of 1.5 inches. Now we're connecting the 3 lines together. Now at the hem of the full length of the bag, I'll go up by half an inch, then I'll just curve it a little bit in this way. And that is all for the back piece. So the next thing we're going to do is just to cut out all the excess we have on the sides. So guys, if you have watched up to this point and you've not liked my video, you've not commented, guys, what are you waiting for? And if you're still waiting or thinking about subscribing to this channel, please do not hesitate, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and we have a whole lot of videos coming on this channel. After cutting out, this is what we have. Now I'll be adding my zipper allowance while cutting out fabric. So we'll be stopping here today. On the next tutorial, we'll be sewing this piece up together.